always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Suffocating, I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Control. Hello everyone and welcome to the third round of the Race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Elite Series Tier 1 League here for the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort. My name is Expert and I'll be your commentator for tonight's race. Let's have a quick look now. Sorry about that, at your track preview. As you can see, we are at Zandvoort. A lot of corners around here. 4.259 kilometers, circuit 2.646 miles, 14 turns, 2 DRS zones for the drivers to utilize to get the moves done around here. It's one of the trickier tracks to get an overtake done, so we could use or see some drivers using that DRS to help them get past. But let's have a quick look now at your driver standings. As you can see, GeForce Crichton currently leads the way at the moment. 35 points next to that Mercedes driver's name. He's got a 9-point gap between himself and FRL Ginger, who currently sits position 2 for Alfa Romeo. Ginger actually splits both the Mercedes of Crichton and Ford, who's in P3, is 40 on 22 points. Then it's Wogboy in P4 for Racing Point, and then rounding out your top 5 of the driver standings is the Renault of NSX Fruitful, then Crossy, Swaggy, Aaron in the Red Bull in position 8. P9 is Gaming Burger, then rounding out your top 10 is Spilly. Let's have a quick look now at your constructor standings. As you can see, Mercedes lead the way at the moment on 57 points. They have a pretty comfortable gap over the Williams team behind them. Then it's Racing Point 2 points behind Williams in position 3. P4 is Alfa Romeo leading Red Bull, Renault, McLaren, Ferrari. AlphaTauri and Haas, unfortunately, have both failed to score points this season. Let's head over now to the main screen because the drivers are out in their qualifying session at the moment. I'll unmute the audio so you guys can hear all the action going on in the pit lane. Let me know some predictions in the chat as well. Sorry, just bringing up the chat now. Alright, let's have a look. So, as you can see, we're 10 minutes, or a couple of minutes, or a little bit late into qualifying, but currently the man who sits on pole is this guy in the Racing Point, a 1 minute 8.584 for XX Wogboy in the Racing Point car, so he's looking pretty quick straight off the bat. There's GeForce Crichton in position 2 for Mercedes, leading GeForce Swagger, GeForce Giannis, who rounds out your top 4. Both McLarens doing a really good job, as they've been showing in the last couple of rounds, both on the second row at the moment. Then it's FRL Ginger, currently sitting in position 5, leading GeForce TP in position 6 on a 1 minute 8.868. So really quick times here straight off. Most drivers, I believe, will be doing 3 runs in this qualifying session. They can potentially get 4 in if they have selected the softer tyre strategy when they load it into the session. As you can see, that's actually both AlphaTauri giving each other a little tow there. Matic and GeForce TP. He's got to get out of the way of his teammate as well, so he doesn't get too much dirty air. Oh, he doesn't seem too happy there, does Matic? I think he may have been blocked there by his teammate, but Giannis now goes to pole position on a 1 minute 8.479 for McLaren, so nice lap there from himself. He's got about around 500ths of a second in hand at the moment over the Racing Point driver behind him. Try and find another driver on a lap. Aaron L3F4 is on a lap. Let's try it on board with him. Actually, he might be on an in-lap, actually, I believe. Yeah, I believe Aaron's on an in-lap. Zentricity is on a lap. Let's ride on board with the harsh driver. I haven't seen much of him on the stream. Heading into this bang to the left-hand corner now. Very easy to lock the inside front. And there are a few different lines you can take through there. It's all down to preference and what you personally think is a faster line. But let's see how it goes. Zentricity heading through this fast right-hander now. Very easy to get wrong and very easy to run yourself wide or not carry enough speed through that corner purple. First sector rather, for Zentricity. It's a little bit promising now. He runs a little bit wide through that corner. That's not ideal for him. A little bit of dirt on the track there that could potentially hurt his run through that corner, as he did run a little bit wide, but a lot of these corners you can run wide here without with getting away with it. So through the final sequence of corners now, through sector 3 is now heading up to the penultimate corner now. Very easy corner to get wrong, and then your whole run screwed up for the rest of the straight. And then, as you saw there, he made a mistake there, did Zentricity. He's now going to probably pay for it as he comes up to the line. What time can the Arse driver set? He sets a 1 minute 8.682, which puts him into position 5, but I reckon he's at least got 2 tenths in that just from a few little errors there made by himself heading through the corners. So he's currently sitting in P5. I believe that will be his best qualifying result if he can get in the top 5. So Haas looking very strong off the get-go. As you can see, Swaggy and Crichton are now on an outlap. GeForce TP's just completed a lap. He's now into position 7 on an 8.740. Matic is going for his third lap now on this set of tyres. GeForce crosses on a lap. Let's ride on board with him as he heads through the middle sector. The harsh driver of Zentricity gets out of the way. Hits that Apex nicely. That is Crossy. Heading down the short DRS straight. The second DRS straight available to the drivers on the racetrack. Other one being on the main straight. He did have a purple second sector there, did Crossy. Gets a little snap and oversteer there heading through turn 12. So it's not ideal for him. Through turn 13 and now through the final corner of turn 14. Flat out in a modern day F1 car. Up to the line. Keeping it narrow to minimise the track distance. And where's this going to put Crossy into position 8 for the Williams driver on an 8.774. So he's about 5/100ths of a second slower than GeForce TP, currently sitting in P7. So let's see if he's able to improve on his time there. FRL Ginger, let's ride on board with him. He's heading through the second sector at the moment. Ran a little bit hot into that corner on turn 9, now into turn 10. Opens DRS nice and wide. There is the Alfa Romeo driver. Up to this little tricky chicane type section. Very easy to get wrong, especially this that double apex corner there. Very easy to overcook the corner and get on the gas too early, but raking at about the 30 meter mark, heading into the corner, through the final corner, turn 14, up to the line, opens DRS. What can Ginger do? He goes P3 on an 8.572, so he's just off Wogboy's time about 5/100ths of a second, 5/100ths. GeForce Crichton. He's heading through the final sector now. He's about 8/100ths up on his time. So let's see what the Mercedes driver can do. Heading through the final corner. That wasn't ideal for him. Heading through the penultimate. He's going to finish the lap though. Up to the line goes GeForce Crichton. He does improve, but unfortunately it's not enough to get an improvement in position. So he now sits on a 1 minute 8.611. So Swaggy also just completed his lap and he set a 6.27. So as you can see, it's really, really close at the moment. But look at this Giannis absolutely bossing the field now. 1 minute 8.377. That's at least a tenth and a half faster than Wogboy or anyone else at the moment. And as you know, that PS4 League Series is absolutely so close in pace. And to have that sort of gap just in this league is very, very good. That's an understatement. Good is a very lenient word there. But Wogboy now, he's coming into the pit lane. He'll be putting on a fresh set of soft tyres, I believe, if he has another one to another set of tyres to utilise. Sorry, that would be the same as Crichton and Swaggy. Let's try and find a driver on a lap potentially. It looks like Aaron's on a lap. He's heading through the final sector now. As you can see, Swaggy gets out of his way. Final corner now for Aaron. Turns it in nice and late. Nice late apex there. Oh, he's invalidated. He is going to be mad. Going to refer back to the PS4 Pacific Series Tier 1 league at the Dutch Grand Prix, where Aaron actually qualified down the rear because he could not get a lap and he kept invalidating. So let's see if he's able to turn that around here this afternoon. He's currently sitting in position 10 on an 8.87. Sorry, an 8.77 rather. Iku's on an in-lap. Chapelele's on an out-lap. Haven't seen much yet from the Renault driver. Was one of the quicker drivers later on in Season 2. So let's see, he was able to contest with the likes of Ford and, or back then it was called 4022, and then Zach Crichton, who is now GeForce Crichton. Let's see what the Renault driver can do here. A lot of drivers will be coming out very shortly for their final run. Want to head out roughly around 1 minute 30, I reckon, just so you can make sure you have a good gap, maybe 1 minute 40 remaining in the session at the absolute latest to get a lap in. Yeah, we might see some drivers coming in or coming out a little bit earlier just so they if they do invalidate their time, they can go again on that set of tyres. Obviously, it won't be ideal, but let's see what happens. Chappelele's invalidated his time. I actually think he has. He's stuffed it up here as Chappelele. So what he's done, he's invalidated he's run wide at the exit of the penultimate corner, and because the game thinks that's an advantage, and it is technically the final corner in an F1 car, really they don't notice final corner since it's flat out. The game thinks he's going to gain an advantage from running wide there onto the straight, so he's now got to do a really slow lap here as Chappelele, try and make sure he has enough fuel in that car, and then also conserve these tyres so he doesn't take too much out of it. So not an ideal start to his final run here for Chappelele. Spilly and Matic now coming out of the pits, as you can see, coming out a little earlier than the others. Looks like a harsh driver of Zentricity is on a lap. No, not Zentricity, it's the other half of Gaming Wafer. Okay, as you can see, they're all coming out now, all following each other out of the pit lane. You don't really need a tow around this circuit, but let's go back to Chappelele, because I do want to see what lap he's able to pull out of the bag. He needs to make sure he has a good enough gap as well, so he doesn't catch these cars in front, because there's an absolute train there. As you can see, he's trying to get as big of a gap as possible. Not too sure what he's quite doing right now. He's running very slowly, 42 k's an hour. It's not really ideal for your tyre temperature. And here we go. Second time round. Oh, that's not ideal for Chappelele. Hopefully he didn't do the same thing. But anyway, up to the line now. Chappelele goes. And he is did not invalidate this time around. Heading into turn 1, braking 50 meter board. That is mega deep. Heading into turn 1. He gets it pulled up somehow, unless it was an audio glitch. I was listening to the audio. Doesn't lock up heading into that corner. That's also something else. I've never once done a lap without locking up through that left dipper. But anyway, I'll try to stop praising Chappelele here for a sec, as he's heading through the middle sector, about to cross over into the second sector. He does now. 4/10 up, pole. Sorry, at the moment, purple first sector, so that is very promising so far from the Renault driver. This is pretty much going to be a one-lap shootout for himself, as his fastest time was a 9.1 in the first race, on his first run. So that's pretty quick, but not quick in terms of Elite Series quick. So heading through the final sector now, purple second sector. He's at 7/10 up on his time at the moment. So this is looking good for pole here. If the Renault driver can get this final corners hooked up, he does. Through the final corner now. Straight lines of corner, keeps it narrow, opens DRS, he's derating at the moment, but does he go to pole? Yes, he does, on a 1 minute 8.226. Really good lap there from Chappelele. What can all the others do about it? Let's ride on board with Giannis as he's heading through the final sector now. Wogboy's actually going to come up to the line first, so we'll keep on board with him as he's now coming through the final sector now. Final corner, up to the line. What can Wogboy do? Can he take pole position of VRT Chappelele? No, he cannot, but what can Giannis do? He's backed out. Giannis has stuffed up his lap, and unfortunately Giannis' qualifying session is done. Just try and find another driver. GeForce Crichton, oh, he's going to get a bit of... I don't think this is ideal for Crichton here, because he's actually going to get a bit balked here, I reckon, by his teammate with dirty air, and that's not an ideal final sector. I think GeForce Crichton may have stuffed this up here. He comes up to the line. Can he improve? He does, but he goes to P3 on an 8.373. Swaggy jumps up to P5 as well for McLaren on an 8.386. Really, really close all through the top 5 at the moment, as you can see. And it looks like your qualifying session is now done and dusted. But actually, no, Aaron's out on track. Let's keep on board with the Red Bull driver as he comes up to the line. What can he do? Only manages position 11 for GeForce Aaron. He's going to absolutely be annoyed with that one. He is not going to be happy with that whatsoever. But your qualifying session for the Spec Esports Dutch Grand Prix PS4 Elite Series League is now completed. As you can see, VRT Chappelele will take pole position on a 1 minute 8.225. Really good lap there from himself. You see 1/10 behind him was Wogboy on a 1 minute 8.360. Then 100th behind him was Crichton. Giannis in position 4. P5 Swaggy. P6 Fruitful. Then it will be Ford in position 7 for Mercedes on an 8.5. FRL Ginger, GeForce TP and Zentricity 2 TV on a 1 minute 8.681. Rounds out your top 10. 3/10 separating the top 10 at the moment. That is really, really close between all the drivers. Waiting for the final classification to come out. But unfortunately for Spilly and Gamingberg, actually for the bottom drivers, it's not really ideal because overtaking around this track is not the easiest thing either. So as you can see, the provisional results now here. Chapelet Leaze Red 4. Renault takes pole position ahead of Wogboy, Crichton, Yana, Swaggy, Fruitful, Ford, Ginger, TB, and Zentricity rounds out your top 10. 0.456 rounds out your top 10. 5-10 separating the top 11. That is really, really close between all the drivers. G-Force Crossy in P12, GeForce Aaron P11 for Red Bull. He'll be disappointed with that, but he will have the first option of fresh tyres. GeForce Todd in P13, Matic, Spilly, Miku, and Gaming Wafer rounds out your top 17. 1.2 seconds separating the top 17. That is mega close, but we'll be back with you shortly for the start of the Dutch Grand Prix. Let me know some predictions in the chat, and I'll read them out on stream when we get back. Sorry guys, I do apologise for this little delay here. We're having more issues with F1 lobbies, so yeah, nothing new here with F1 2020. So we'll be back with you shortly. I'll play some music. I apologise for this. We'll be back as soon as possible.
Invincible.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Alright, as you guys can see, we are now back. I do apologise for that delay. Unfortunately, Codemasters did not want to work with us in any way whatsoever there, so that really did not help us at all. But we are back now, fortunately, for the race. Obviously, everyone will be on fresh sets of tyres now. I do massively apologise for the wait there. It's not really ideal for anyone. As we had a 20-minute wait there. I highly apologise for those technical issues. Yeah, F1 decided and PlayStation decided that it would be a good time to start doing some maintenance. So it's not ideal. FRL Chapelele, sorry, will start from pole position. A little refresher for you guys. Alongside him will be XX Wogboy in the Racing Point. So let's see what he can do. Obviously, Chapelele coming in with that mega one-lap dash at the end of qualifying there. Some really good and positive stuff there from Chapelele, Wogboy P2, GeForce Grant in P3. Alongside him will be the McLaren of GeForce Giannis. Then another really good showing from the other McLaren of GeForce Swag in P5, NSX Fruitful P6, Ford in P7, BA Ginger P9, GeForce TB. Then rounding out your top 10 will be the harsh driver of Zentricity. Unfortunately, another glitch in this game. The fact that there is no names there for Zentricity, so that's great. So I'm just going to have to try and remember that. GeForce Aaron P11, then it'll be Crossy P12, who splits the two Red Bulls. P13, GeForce Todd, P14, Spilly. And rounding out your top 15 will be Gaming Wayfridge. You can see Chapelele coming through the final corner now, about to line up into his grid spot. You can see them all pulling up now to their spots. This is going to be a mega race here. Please let me know your predictions in the live chat. Give us your top 3 of who you think is going to win the Dutch Grand Prix. Try and read them out on stream as well for you. Waiting for the light sequence to begin now. As you can see, we have 5 red lights out of the drivers of the Dutch Grand Prix. And it is lights out, and we are underway. Very good start there from Chapelele as they have now the run down to turn 1. Unfortunately, we're stuck on a bad camera angle here, but somehow Spilly leads the way. It's not Spilly, sorry, Chapelele leads the way as they head through turn 2. Right about now, as you can see, Wogboy trying to keep with him. He didn't get the best of starts off the line. GeForce Crichton holding on to position 3, as you can see in that Mercedes car that it is. Swaggy, who's up into B4 now. Giannis has dropped down a few positions. He's down 2 spots. Now 3 as Fruitful has got ahead of Giannis. They're running side by side here, heading through the far right hand, the fastest corner on the racetrack. And they both managed to get through there. They're still side by side as they are now heading through turn 9. That was through turn 8 and 7. They were going side by side. Really good job there from the pair of those two to keep the racing clean. Or as you saw there, Fruitful tried to stick his nose down the inside there of Giannis. He's got a predicted strategy here. One stop, bidding lap 12 to 15, but you definitely can bid earlier than that and get to the end, but you will have to do a little bit of tyre conserving. Chapelele leads away at the moment. As you can see, he's trying to pull that gap out 5/10 of a second, sorry, over the Racing Point of Wogboy. Wogboy might be thinking of making a move here. He's not really close enough, unfortunately. See Wogboy. I can't even tell now because this game's so bugged. Yeah, here we go. Now he's got back up into P1. Chapelele now leads away 2/10 advantage by the looks of it. I don't know if I want to believe that or not. Over Wogboy. GeForce Crichton P3 still leading Swaggy. Then it's the other McLaren of Giannis. NSX Fruitful maintains position. So both the McLarens are pretty much swap positions. That's the main swaps in the top 10. Spilly up 5 spots as well at the beginning of this Grand Prix. He's up into the top 10 now. Top 9 actually. So really, really good start from him. Unfortunately for Zentricity, down in position 15, who has no name on our screens, but it is him, has lost 5 spots off the start. So not ideal for himself with the Haas team. They were looking pretty good at the beginning of qualifying as well, but unfortunately it didn't pan out for them as they now all start the third lap of the Grand Prix. 36 laps they will have to battle it out. Yeah, it is unfortunate there, Miku, especially as well that you don't get to race, so it's unfortunate there as well. No, as you can see, they're heading to the final sector now. Heading up to the final 2 corners, penultimate corner now, goes Wogboy and Chaplele. Fortunately, it's actually really hard to overtake around the Zandvoort circuit, so you'll be really relying on trying to get a good run on the driver in front of you, but as you can see, no one's really out at the moment except for both Haases. They've dropped off a little bit, unfortunately. See on board here with Spilly in the Racing Point car. Move back up the field. Chaplele trying to edge that gap out. It's 5 tenths of an advantage at the moment. He's also got to make sure he conserves ERS nicely as well. He's currently on 80% is Chaplele. Wogboy on 16, so he's doing a really good job at the moment is Chaplele to manage that ERS. So now we head to the final corner for the 4th time here this afternoon. Sackright also starting to fall off the back of this train now. He needs to try and pick up the pace as well now that Wogboy is really catching up to the back of Chaplele. We could see some potential risky moves being played here by Wogboy. Try and get ahead of that Renault driver. They head to this fast right-hander now, very fast in an F1 car. Yeah, it seems like Wogboy's a little bit faster through the final sector. That's where he makes up a lot of his time, but unfortunately he doesn't look like he has the pace through the first sector. Roughly, well, I'd say that would come down a lot to Dirty Air as well, because Dirty Air is pretty bad through there, especially that super fast right-hander that I was just speaking of. But Zach's now right on the rear of Wogboy as well. We'll have to watch time penalties as well, especially at that corner that they just went through of turn 10, I believe it is. Very easy to corner cut that corner. Use a little bit too much of that apex curve, but you can see 5 tenths of a second now between Wogboy and Chaplele. Look at that Wogboy, no ERS left to utilise in that Racing Point car. He's got to try and build it back up. G-Force Crichton pretty much in the same boat, unlike Chaplele though, who's on 80% ERS, 90% now for Chaplele, so he's doing a mega job at the moment to manage that ERS. So now across the line to start lap 7 of the Grand Prix. Wogboy still trailing behind that Renault car, using that ERS. Unlike Chaplele, he's actually gaining ERS at the moment, surprisingly. See here, unfortunately Swaggy's fallen out of DRS range now to GeForce Crichton in front of him, so he needs to try and pick up the pace here. Might have to use a little bit of that little amount of battery that he has available to him to get back into that DRS, but now Fruitful's actually ahead of Giannis, so Giannis has dropped down a position into position 6 now for himself, so they're not looking too good for the McLarens at the moment. Both of them have been really consistent in qualifying, but unfortunately just haven't really been able to convert that over into the race as of yet. GeForce Ford down in position 7. He won't be too happy with his result or his current position. He's now in 8/10 of a second behind Giannis in front of him. Then it's FRL Ginger who's trying to put pressure on that Mercedes in front. Billy there as well, trying to keep within that DRS range of Ginger. Then it's GeForce TP who rounds out your top 10. Then it is GeForce Aaron, both Red Bulls having a shocker day at the moment. P11 and P13. Crossy as well, having some fun here with the Red Bulls, currently splitting them both. GeForce Todd in position 13, then Gaming Wave in P14. And unfortunately for Zentricity, who I believe has made a pit stop, I will be able to confirm that for you. He has, he's down in position 15, so he'll be doing a 2-stop strategy. He'll be trying to go as long as possible on those hard tyres and then probably go on the mediums towards the end of the race to get to the checkered flag. Or into the pits now, GeForce Crichton. He's blinked early. He's going to be the first one to blink as well. He now comes into the pit lane to put on a new set of hard tyres there, as you can see. Obviously started on the soft compound tyre. And following him in is GeForce Giannis. This is pretty much the earliest you want to pit, but overcuts are actually really powerful around here, believe it or not. It could work in Zach's hands, but it could also not. If the driver in front gets a really good lap in, especially with dirty air around here, this could work. So let's see. Obviously Zach's come out Crichton's come out in free air. So let's see. I think it will be mainly between Wogboy and Zach Crichton. It might be close by, if anything. So obviously Wogboy has no pressure from behind now, so this could potentially give him a little bit of breathing space. But I think we will see the two race leaders now coming into the pits to react to Crichton's early pit stop. There you go. As you can see, into the pits actually comes Chapelele, so just gets it stopped in time. But Wogboy opts to stay out, so does Fruitful. Obviously he can't come into the pits because his teammate's in there, so let's see where GeForce Crichton comes out relative to the Renault driver. It's going to be pretty close, actually. As you can see, he's pulled a bit of a gap now as Chapelele. So as I said, the overcut is actually a little bit, if you get a really good lap in, overcut's actually pretty powerful around here. So he stays ahead, does Chapelele, but I think the main battle now is going to be between Crichton and then also Wogboy, who is currently in the lead of the Grand Prix. Let's go up to Wogboy as he's heading through the final sector now. Let's see what he's able to do. I believe we will see him in the pit lane this lap. Obviously the later you stay out, because tyres do wear out very quickly around here, and he is now coming into the pit lane for a new set of tyres. I believe Fruitful will follow him in. He does. So we're going to go find we're going to go GeForce Crichton because he's probably got the best view at the moment. Let's see what happens. Can Wogboy stay ahead of Crichton? This is going to be close, as you can see on the right hand side of that Racing Point car. It's actually going to be really close, obviously. As you can see, Wogboy will have that inside line, but Crichton with the better momentum, he's now got ahead of Wogboy, so it wasn't the best in-lap there for the Racing Point driver, and unfortunately now he's lost the position to the Mercedes driver of Crichton. Really good strategy there from the Mercedes team, which now puts him in net second at the moment of this Grand Prix. Once the top three will make a pit stop. they all started on the medium tyre, except for Aaron, who's opted for the hards. So he'll be going into the mediums late in the race. So this could work really good here for Aaron. We'll have to see how this pans out for him. So we just saw it go off in the distance there, the McLaren, but it was actually a bit of lag. I just saw it in the corner of my eye, but yeah, as you can see, the front three all still out in the lead at the moment. As you get a little inside there to the gap between Todd and Chapelele. We'll go back here. As you can see, that's the gap roughly there. That's about 2.7 seconds separating the Renault and the Red Bull driver. As I believe the front three will be going roughly to, I would say, lap, or I should say the two medium runners, I reckon will be going to roughly lap 25, sorry, lap 20 I reckon, around there. That's when we'll see the medium runners come in and then go onto the hards later on in the race. But Aaron, I reckon we'll see him around to like lap 25-ish, I would say. He'll be doing 10 laps on those medium tyres, maybe a little bit earlier. And also maybe a little bit earlier as well for the medium runners at the moment. So I reckon around that lap 19-20 mark, we'll see the likes of Crossy and Todd come in. And then for Aaron, we'll see probably him in around lap 25-ish for a new set of medium tyres. Or if he can push these tyres out super long, he could go onto the softs at the end, which will make him absolutely rapid. And he'll be able to carve his way through the field very easily. Actually, I shouldn't say very easily, because it is very hard to overtake around here. But Chapelele is really not catching up to Todd and Crossy here. He's only pulled in about 0.3 of a second this lap, so I would expect him to probably be a little bit quicker than that, but we'll see how this pans out for him. Oh, as a Williams off of Crossy, so Crossy's made a little mistake there. As he heads through the second sector, so fortunately that's cost him a lot of time now. He's out of that train, so now that puts the two Red Bulls into the lead of the Grand Prix. Oh, trying to make a move there was Swaggy. He's lagging around a little bit, but let's see, so now this puts Aaron and Todd in a little bit of fresh air each way round. Chapelele's gap to Todd now is 1.8 seconds, 1.7 seconds now. So let's see how long it takes a Renault driver to catch up to that Red Bull in front. Zephyr Ginger now into the pit lane. What tyres is he on? He's currently on the hards, so has he got a front nose change? He does, so I'm not sure how he's actually damaged that, but he's going into the mediums. It's interesting strategy there from himself. Don't know how long he's going to get on those mediums unless he's opt or wanting to do another stop. He may not actually have any hards left, so It's a bit unfortunate for Ginger, his race. Oh, off into the wall. That's G-Force Todd off into the wall. He's absolutely smashed into the wall in that Red Bull car. And unfortunately, that is now his race probably done without a safety car. He will be able to get back round to put on a new set of tyres and probably a front wing. But his whole strategy now has been thrown out the window. Unfortunately for Todd, this isn't the first time we've seen him make a little error like that. And unfortunately for Todd now, his race has gone massively downhill in the matter of seconds. You can see he's struggling to get it back to the pits there. Toddy down in P12 now. Unfortunately, he's out of the race. He has 20 laps still remaining in the Dutch Grand Prix. Aaron leads the way at the moment, 2.9 seconds over FRL Chapelele. But Chapelele is in the net lead of the Grand Prix as he is the first driver to have made a pit stop. We're still waiting for Aaron, Toddy to make a stop. And unfortunately, Toddy has just put it in the wall if you are just joining us here. And Todd has now retired from the session in the pit lane. So unfortunately, that's one Red Bull car out and done for today. As Aaron crosses the line now, 2.5 seconds between himself and Chapelele. Zach Crutton just really pushing now, as you can see, to keep within that DRS range. He does have Wogboy right behind him now in that Racing Point car, and it's 9/10 of a second separating Crichton and Chapelele. So Zach's pushing, or Crichton's pushing really hard at the moment to keep up with the likes of Chapelele. So there's a couple of different battles going on track at the moment. As you can see, these four at the moment. Obviously, Aaron's kind of out of context at the moment, as he's not really in this race. And Swaggy's by himself at the moment. Same boat as Fruitful, but Crossy is also trying to keep up with Fruitful here. Actually, no, Crossy made that little error, that's right. Crossy ran wide, heading through the fast right-hander of turn... Yeah... Yeah, I'm trying to think. Turn 7, sorry, turn 7. That's right. He ran wide and unfortunately went off into the dirt. But yeah, Zach really struggling now to keep with that Renault driver in front. But we could potentially see Chapelele get balked a little bit here by Aaron potentially. So, because Aaron won't let him go. I know that for a fact. They now head through the final sector. As you can see, that gap now between Aaron and Chapelele is closing rapidly. It's actually not as rapid as I thought it would be, but it's closing pretty quickly now. Considering Aaron's on pretty old hard tyres, I really would have thought that Chapelele would have been reeling him in real quick. But if Aaron can keep these tyres intact for quite some time, I reckon till around lap 27, 28, I reckon he'll be able to go onto the soft compound tyre. Maybe even earlier. Then he might be able to carve his way back to the field, because I reckon he's definitely going to come out just in front, I reckon, of the first half of Zentricity. Half of Zentricity, which he's currently in P11. So, yeah, it's going to be... He's not going to get the position I reckon he would like, obviously being at the front, but he's showing that he has a pace here to keep with the front runners, even on really old tyres, so... Ginger now picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. So Zach, is he within DRS? He just is. He's down less than a second now. Over a second behind Chaplele, but he must have just been within a second to Chaplele. Little error there now for the Renault driver. That's going to help Zach a slight bit, but yeah, Zach, I think, is now out of DRS range to Chaplele. So now all the pressure, or all the focus of the Mercedes driver will be on the car behind of Wogboy, who is, I would say, about comfortably within a second. Fruitful's also carving his way through the field. He's currently in position 5. Trying to catch up to G-Force Swaggy. Unfortunately, Giannis has not had the best of races so far. He's now battling with G-Force TP and the likes of Spilly in that racing point, so... 16 laps remain in the Dutch Grand Prix. You can see them coming across the line now. We might see a dive bomb here from TP down the inside of Giannis. Giannis leaves the door open. Oh, he nearly understeers into him. That is TP, but he leaves the room. That is Giannis. He's still trying to fight it back. They're still side by side as they go through turn 3. Now up to turn 3. Sorry, turn 2. Now through turn 3. And Giannis holds onto the position. But what a switchback move there from TP. And he gets the move done. Puts the McLaren off into the grass. And now allows Spilly to go through as well. So Giannis is getting absolutely barged out of the way here. So unfortunately for Giannis, it's not going good for him at all. Down in position 8. We're going back to our leaders now. As you can see, Zach really out of DRS range now. So this should help Chaplele get a little bit of a gap. We're going to quickly check race director here. So Chaplele, oh, he's on a penalty. Okay, there you go. 3-second penalty for Chaplele. Zach is on no warning, on 1 warning. Wogboy's in the same boat. Swaggy has no penalties, interestingly, and Fruitful has nothing either. So, we'll go back to this battle. We're going to see a move here from Wogboy. No, we don't. So, Crichton, if he can stay within 3 seconds here for the remainder of this race to Chaplele, then he'll be able to take this win. He's in the net lead currently after penalties, so... as they now have started the 23rd lap of the Dutch Grand Prix. Could we see a dive bomb here from Wogboy? Thought about it. Zach moved over just slightly. It changes the line heading into the first turn, which kind of took Wogboy's thinking away of going down the inside. So they both head through turn 3 now. One of the 2 banked corners, massively banked corners I should say, around the Zandvoort circuit. Swaggy's now pulling away a little bit from Fruitful. That gap's out to just under 2 seconds between the Renault and the McLaren driver. G-Force TP still leads this little battle between Spilly and Aaron. Aaron's actually coming to the pits. I completely missed that somehow. But anyway. He went onto the mediums, did Aaron. So he's going to be a little bit quicker than Spilly and TP. But as it's been said multiple times, it's very hard to get a move done around this track. You need to make sure, force the driver in front of you into an error, especially when you're in trains like this. It's very easy just to be towed along by the driver in front if they want to chew their ERS, or chew through their ERS. So Aaron's really got to try and set up a move here on Spilly, try and put him under an immense amount of pressure. And he looks like he's got the run. He's up into overtake now, but he doesn't have much to utilise. Spilly is in the same boat, but what will Aaron do here? As you can see, he's backed out of it. He's going to let Spilly and TP battle this out as they now thought about making a move there with Spilly, but he defended the inside line nicely there, did TP. As they head through the first complex of corners through turn 3 now. It's pretty much a one-way line all through this section. This is going to allow Giannis to catch back up as well. He's really struggling. He's down to P9 now, is the McLaren driver. You can see he's up in overtake. I believe Giannis got a stuck overtake button. I have a feeling that Giannis' overtake button might be stuck on. I know, he's just turned it off. Okay, so he was just sitting on it in a pretty weird place in my opinion. But anyway, continues on. As Ford picks up a 3-second penalty, he's currently down in position 14. So hasn't been a really good race for a lot of the front runners, I guess you could say. The likes of Aaron, Ford, Todd, and all those guys. Giannis, they haven't had the best of races, but need to watch this battle here, and also the battle in front of them between GeForce Crichton and Wogboy. That gap's down to 0.2 of a second. Wogboy putting a lot of pressure on Crichton. They both have pretty much dead even ERS on 2%. ERS is not going to play a factor, but unfortunately just through all this section it's so hard to follow the car in front. Need to be careful as well, these two are penalties, because they need to make sure they stay within 3 seconds, but I think that might be Zach or GeForce Crichton's main thinking right now, because he needs to stay within 3 seconds if he wants any chance at winning this race. So he's 2.7 at the moment, so he's got about 2/10 of a window, but he's just got nothing to play with at the moment compared to Chapelele, who's on 30%. So Chapelele can save that up and then push a little bit later on in the Grand Prix. Unlike Zach now, who has to half save and half use. Unlike Chapelele, where he can just get on with it. There's 10 laps remaining in the Grand Prix now, as you can see. Lap 26 of 36. Swaggy's still running a pretty lonely race at the moment in position 4. Same boat with Fruitful. And GeForce TP's trying to pull a gap now over Spilly. 0.5 of a second separate those two. As now Zentricity and Ford are going at it here as they go through the first turn. Haas versus Mercedes. Who's going to back out of it? Oh, Zentricity holds onto that position, but Ford trying to get a better run. And Ford wasn't able to get the move done. 2.8 seconds now between Crichton and Chapelele. Oh, we might see a move here from Wogboy. He's thought better of it. Crichton's got nothing to play with or nothing to use at the moment in his ERS bank. So these guys start really battling or pushing hard to get past each other. We could see Swaggy potentially catch up as well. So and that gap is still just within 3 seconds. But I feel like Chapelele, if he really wanted to, he could push pretty hard, pretty easily to get that gap out, but I think he's just trying to maintain it at the moment, let these guys battle and see what happens, because he will know that these guys are battling pretty hard. So Chapelele will now start lap 28 of this Grand Prix. 8 laps remain in the race as well, so Wogboy just biding his time. He's not rushing this move. He knows that Crichton's using a lot of everything at the moment, a lot of battery and fuel most likely. So he's just going to try and build it up as much as possible here as Wogboy, so he can get the move done pretty easily. He's up and overtake there actually, so Chapelele still trying to pull away, and that gap now is out to over 3 seconds. So let's see what happens here with Crichton. I think now that he knows that he's not going to be able to hold on to this, we could see him try and save a little bit more ERS in that car. Because he kind of was in 2 battles. He was one battle with Wogboy behind him, and then also another battle trying to stay within 3 seconds if he wanted any chance at taking the win. So let's see what Swaggy can do now as well. 3.6 seconds separating himself and the Racing Point driver. Then it's NSX Fruitful still running that pretty lonely race, but TP is actually catching up to him now. So he is towing along Spilly, and Aaron, by the looks of it, Giannis has fallen off the back of that train again. So Aaron's still struggling to get ahead of Spilly. As I've said before, it's so hard to get an overtake done around here. Probably one of the hardest on the calendar, to be honest. Or on the race spec calendar anyway. Obviously, we actually don't have the Monaco Grand Prix on the race spec calendar, believe it or not. Oh, little mistake there for Chapelele. Just kept it on the racetrack. That's actually given Zach now. Oh, it's going to be close. It's just exactly 3 seconds now. But I don't think Zach really cares too much now. His main focus is holding on to position 2 here. He also needs to make sure he doesn't get another penalty in this race as well, because that will ruin this completely for him, because I believe both of them do have 1 warning, potentially 2, but they do not have a penalty as of yet. So let's keep on board with Wogboy as he's heading through the second sector now. It looks like he's starting to pick up the pace now as a Racing Point driver, so he's getting a little bit more eager to get ahead of that Mercedes. Obviously, Zach's not going to make it easy for him as they now head through the penultimate corner. Little lock up there for Wogboy. That's going to most likely ruin all of his chances to get a move done. Or it may not be. Actually, Zach's saving his ERS a little bit here. They both are, to be honest, by the looks of it. Yeah, none of them have anything to utilise to defend or attack, but there's 6 laps remaining now for our race leader, FRL Chapelele. It was a 3.3 second advantage. There's about a 3/10 window at the moment when it comes to penalties. I'm going to double check these now because I'm sure they would have updated. So Chapelele still has that 1 penalty. Crichton still with 1 warning. Wogboy in the same boat. Swaggy still has 1 warning. Fruitful 1 warning. TP 1 penalty, and he's on his last warning. Spilly nothing. Aaron, I'm just going to go through your top 10. Nothing for Aaron. Giannis is a 5-second penalty, and Crossy as a 3-6, and he's on his 3-second penalty and on his last warning for his 2nd penalty. So Ford has picked up a 3-second penalty. That is the battle for position 14 in this race. So 1 Mercedes battling for position 2, 1 battling for P14. So unfortunately, it hasn't been the best of days for the other side of the garage. Oh, Wogboy thought about making a move. He showed him the nose there as they head through turn 1 for the 31st time in this Grand Prix. Yeah, unfortunately, Amazia, Ginger hasn't had the best of races. He's actually dropped 3 spots from his original qualifying position, so hasn't been the best of starts for himself. Chapelele now about to start the 32nd lap. 3.2 second gap at the moment. He cannot afford any mistakes either, can Chapelele, because he obviously does have that 3-second penalty, but that gap's been sitting at around 3.1 seconds now. Could this be Wogboy's opportunity? He's thought about it again, but he's still just waiting. He's waiting for Zach to make that error. They both got the exact same amount of ERS, as you can see, 5% and 8%, so it's pretty dead even at the moment between them all. as they now head through the second sector. You see their tyres are going to start to really lose some grip here as they come towards the end of this Grand Prix. Front left tyre seems to really die off very quickly as well around this circuit, mainly due to the fact of turn 3, that hairpin. The super banked one, because you lock the inside front very easy, and it's also the loaded tyre around this racetrack, as it is a clockwise circuit. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to make a move here, will Wogboy. He's trying to save his ERS, but Zach's got nothing to work with. He had 0 on that straight, but we're going to keep on board with this battle, as it does seem to be the main one. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go back to Aaron, because Aaron, might be setting up a move. We'll have to watch this battle here between them as well. And then also... Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong battle. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, that gap's still 3.3 seconds. How much ERS has Chaplele got? 1. So 10%, sorry. So he might have to push a little bit harder here on the last lap, potentially, to try and edge out that gap just a little bit more so he's comfortable. They're both about 20% ERS at the moment. It's going to be very tough for Wogboy, but Chaplele is about to start the 34th lap here. There'll be 3 laps remaining, including this next one. Wogboy's got nothing, and Zach's got nothing either, so they're both on 0 ERS. So it's pretty much down to fuel and DRS at the moment, and he also needs to get a good run here. Just Crichton. So does Wogboy, rather, to get a move done on Crichton. Yellow flags. It's a Renault. Oh, Chaplele's gone. I didn't even notice that. Our race leader is spun round, and Chaplele is now dropped down to position 4. Oh no! I didn't even notice it. I just saw the yellow flags. Wow. So this is the battle now for the lead of the Grand Prix. Look at that. I'm so sorry. I completely missed that. But now this is going to get a little bit more intense, because both of these drivers have 0 penalties next to their name, but they both really, really want this win. Zach will be going for his 2nd win, I believe, this season. I'll be able to confirm that for you in a minute, and I can confirm 100% that this will be Wogboy's 1st win. So Zach will be going for his 2nd win this season. Obviously won the Australian Grand Prix. He is our championship leader as well, but Wogboy will be wanting to get some really good points here as they do start up an ultimate lap. Zach made a little error, so could Wogboy try and throw a move around the outside of this corner? Zach putting everything on the table at the moment. It's going to be very close between our 2 race leaders here. No pressure from behind for Wogboy. There's a lot of pressure from behind for Zach Crichton. He's got to make sure he is errorless. Sorry, he makes no errors as he heads through these dying stages of the race. He's going to put Swaggy onto the podium potentially if he can hold off Chaplele. Actually, no, Chaplele's got that 3 seconds, so if Swaggy does not have anything, this will be really good for him. Here we go. Wogboy still right on the tail. They both got the exact same ERS again, so he needs a good run off this corner here. Does Wogboy? Does he get it? No, he locks the inside front. That's not ideal. This is going to give Crichton a good run. But who's got the better ERS? It's going to be close. Crichton defending that inside line. Is Wogboy going to be deep under brace? He's got to throw the dummy. He's going to go to the outside line now. Does Wogboy? He's going to try and force it around the outside. He didn't really pull it up. He wasn't deep enough there, and Zach parked it on the exit, so that was really, really good defending. But can he do it around the outside here? They're both super deep into the corner. This is the last lap of the Dutch Grand Prix. This is the battle for the lead of the race. Can Wogboy get it done here? This next right-hander, has he got the run? Crichton defends the inside line. It's a one-way line through this section, but can he send it down the inside of turn 9? I think that's where he's trying to set it up. He's got to send it here. Oh, he's sitting back. He probably should have tried that. That would have been one of his last opportunities. Zach defends the inside line for turn 10. This is the last DRS zone. Turned in a little bit early there to Wogboy, so that's going to hurt his run down this long straight, or this short straight. But I think Zach might be able to hold on to this. This could be a drag race heading down the front straight. Who's got more ERS? Zach's chewed up a bit of it, so this could be Wogboy here. Wogboy's got 20%, Zach's got 10. So let's see what happened. Wogboy's made an error, so this is going to hurt him here. But rounding the final corner now to cross the line, Zach Crichton, GeForce Crichton, takes the win for Mercedes. Congratulations to himself. 1/10 in the end ahead of Wogboy. Really good racing between those two in the dying stages of that race. GeForce Swaggy will take home P3. Really good result there for GeForce Esports as well. P1 and P3. Then Spilly in position 4. Then it'll be GeForce Aaron in position 5. Really, really good recovery drive from himself to get himself back up into P5. And also to Spilly up 10 spots in this Grand Prix. Congratulations to himself. And Racing Point will be taking home a bunch of Constructors points here this afternoon. They'll be most likely jumping ahead of Williams because no Williams actually scored points here. So they will comfortably jump ahead as well, and they're going to close that gap to Mercedes. So really good job there from Racing Point. Aaron P5. P6 will be Shap Lele in the end. Then right behind him, 5/100ths of a second in the end between the two Renaults. So Fruitful will be absolutely annoyed with that. GeForce CP and P8. P9 Giannis, and then running at top 10 was FRL Ginger. GeForce Crossy will come home P11 ahead of Gaming Way for Ford, and then coming up to the line now, final driver will be Zendricity TV. What a race. For the win there in the end. Congratulations to GeForce Crichton and Wogboy. And Spilly gets driver of the day there, as you can see. Waiting for the provisional results to come up now. So you can see them coming out on the podium now for the win. Congratulations to the Mercedes AMG team and Zach Crichton. Now we're going to have a look at your provisional results here for the Dutch Grand Prix. GeForce Crichton takes the win in the end for the Mercedes team with a really, really good battle between these two of himself and Wogboy in that pink Mercedes car. Then it'll be GeForce Swag in position 3 for McLaren. Really good and solid result for him. I believe that is his first podium of the season. Spilly P4, Aaron P5, Shap Lele choked it all by himself as well in position 6. I have confirmation that he did it by himself as well. Well, he was by himself anyway. So, yeah, that's all his fault there, unfortunately. That's cost him a lot of points. Fruitful P7, 8th, GeForce TP, Giannis in P9, unfortunate race for him, and then Ginger round out top 10. We'll be back shortly for the post-race interview. Stay tuned, and we'll get to hear from our podium. Right, as you can see here, we have our top 3 podium getters from round 3 of the race Spec F1 Esports PS4 Pacific Series. No, Elite Series, sorry. Tier 1 Dutch Grand Prix. Start off with you. Actually, we're going to start off with both of you. G-Force Shrine and Wogboy. What a battle at the end of the race there. Obviously, both of you neck to neck for the last, I would say, 10 or last 20 laps, to be honest. 15, 20 laps. You were all really close, but it only looked like there for the last 8 laps when... who was it? Sorry, I keep forgetting his name. Chaplele spun around that you guys were battling for the win.
Yeah, that was quite fun, those last 20 laps with Wogboy there. I was just trying to manage my battery so I could keep him behind for the straight. But yeah, once Chaplele spun, Wogboy started to close up a bit. In those last probably 5 laps, he was almost going to get me. But yeah, managed to just hold him off on that last lap.
Yeah, obviously there was a 1/10 of a second separating you two as you came across the line, but let's go to you now, Wogboy. Obviously sitting behind that Mercedes for such a long time. What was your thoughts during the race there? And you looked like you were chewing your ERS up a little bit more than what Zach was, by the looks of it.
Yeah, it was pretty frustrating, but I was just trying to maintain tyres.
Yep.
Trying to maintain ERS, but couldn't manage that. And hopefully try to push that at the end, but it didn't work.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, unfortunate there for you, but obviously I'm sure you'll take P2. I believe that is your first podium of the season as well, so congratulations to you. We'll move on to Swaggy now as well. Running a pretty lonely race, I would say, in position 4 for the majority of it. Then obviously with Chaplele spinning out there by himself on the exit of turn 3, obviously promoted you up to P3.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Sorry, hold on, let me finish my mouth. Sorry, boy.
Oh no.
Alright, we'll come back to Swaggy, but anyway, we'll go back to, G-Force Crichton. Obviously, was really struggling there to keep within the DRS of Chaplele in the early stages of the race. You were really pushing hard, but then also you were the first one to blink, so were you always planning to, or first one to come into the pits for people that don't know what I mean?
Yeah, I was trying to be one of the first, just with the Mercedes pit stall. It's like you can get stuck in traffic, especially in this field, how it's so close. Like, yeah, I could maybe drop back to maybe 7th or 8th, and not really where I want to be. But yeah, I was maybe 2 seconds behind Chaplele, then started to close up, and I saw that he had 3 seconds of pen, so started to save my tyres. But yeah, his pace was a little bit better than mine, that's for sure, in the middle phase of the race. But he dropped it. I think he had 6 seconds when he dropped it, so I was just cruising, saving my tyres, and just watching Wogboy. But yeah, when he dropped it, just turned my attention all to Wogboy.
So we'll go back to you now, Swaggy, if you've got...
yeah, I'm good.
You're good? Okay, so yes, talk us through your race. Obviously, running a pretty lonely P4 for a lot of it. I haven't been changing the cars. It might be an idea to do that. There you go. Yeah, so talk us through your race. Obviously running a lonely P4 for a lot of it, then ended up being a podium after Chaplele's spin.
Yeah, obviously happy with the podium, but yeah, she was a bit lonely. I didn't really get within a second of anyone. Had Fruitful for a bit, but yeah, it was alright. And then kind of just couldn't pull up to the front two in their little DRS train. Just 10th or 2 slower lap. Bit painful, but I'll take P3.
Cool. Thank you for that very intelligent insight there, Swaggy. But we'll thank you everyone for watching the stream. Sorry as well for the delay midway between races. But my name is Lachlan, and I will see you guys next time for the next race. Talk to you later.